Tina, and I want to just give a shout out to Tina Jones because I have been friends with her for about 3 years and just really seen her grow. And to bring this summit to you again, this is her second year of doing it, and it's been really my honor to work with you as well. So thank you. Hi guys, thanks for being here. Woo! Okay, so the power of an empath. What is that? What does that mean? So if you're in here, you might know what an empath is. No? Not so much? Do you feel too much? Do you take on everybody else's anxiety? Do you take on everything from the world? If there's somebody that hurts, you just want to rush in and fix them. Do you know why? You feel them hurt. And because you feel them hurt, you take that hurt on as your own. And you hurt. You want to fix them so you don't have to hurt. What if you could just be you and hold space for their pain? What if you could just be you? Just like, everyone knows this one person, right? And they walk into the room and they're just like, they're so peaceful that they're so chill and tranquil. You just hate them sometimes, right? And you love them too because they walk in and all of a sudden you just feel better. That's because they know where their peace lies. And as empaths, we're really nosy. We are so nosy because we have our awareness in everybody else's business. Where are you at in that? Where do you come in as that? How can you even function when you have all these other things coming in? How do you even know who you are? When you're buffeted by all the emotions of everybody else. And this world's crazy. And it gets me too. It gets me a little crazy too. But I have to remember in all... Oh, okay, we're going to do this now. Okay, so relax, take a deep breath. If you're not relaxed, if the chair's not already supporting you, if you're not sitting comfortably, why not? But just let the chair support you. And take a deep breath because as an empath, we are nosy in everybody else's business. So just take another deep breath and relax into your chair a little deeper and a little deeper. And relax into your little chair a little deeper. And in all of the chaos and in all of the crazy and in all of the tapestry of this world, where's your thread? Where are you? And if you've done a lot of work or a lot of things, maybe your thread's fragmented and you need to pull it in from everywhere. And find that thing that is you and bring it into your chest. Anything that is not this feeling is not you. Anything that's not this joy, that's not this presence of being is not you. And you get to ask yourself the question, is it mine? Who does this belong to? I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling anxious. Wait, am I feeling anxious or is there just a lot of things to be anxious about in this world? Okay, not mine. Is there anything I can do about it? Yes or no? Yes or no? And when you start asking yourself the question, you get the awareness of the answer to that. One day, here we go, down to this place. So I went home to a wedding. Went home, back to my hometown to a wedding. It was a family thing, and it was so good because I hadn't seen anybody for 5 years. I've been gone for 5 years, and it was really good to see everybody. The next day I get home. And I could not stop crying. And I couldn't stop crying. This is Sunday. Monday, I can't stop crying. And Tuesday, I can't stop crying. Okay, if I'm not going to go to a friend and get facilitated, what is this? What can I do about it? What do I need to know about it? What it was there was a place within me that came from that time that I never healed, I never addressed, and I was wounded deep inside. But on the outside, I'm like, hi, how are you doing? Da, da, da. And I never honored who I was and forgave myself based on who I was at the time. I made the decisions that were right at the time. I made the decisions based on who I was. And so I spent a week in that place. And I honored that. Because what happens when we get emotional? What happens? You know, we're like, right? That ugly cry thing. What happens when you're in the middle of the cry if you give it room? You give it room to express. I'm not saying you need to cry for a week because it's really not a lot of fun. But, I mean, if you go into that place, because what do you do when you're hurt? What do you do when you get hurt? You protect yourself because you don't want to get hurt anymore. What does that do to the pain? Hold your hand. Grab your hand like this. Put your pain in the center of it. And hold on. And hold on tighter. And hold on tighter. And hold on tighter. And hold on tighter. This is what we do with our emotions into our bodies. We hold on to them. We hold on to them. And then what happens when you let it go? What happens if you have pain in your body? What happens if you just go give it some attention and give it some space? Does it change it? It can. It can dissipate it. And if it doesn't dissipate immediately, then okay, what are you here to tell me? What are you here to teach me? You know, I went through that and I realized there were places I hadn't forgiven myself. It's been 5 years and I hadn't forgiven myself. And, you know, I use a few tools. I use access bars because it's like meditation, and it's holding some points on your head and it clears everything out for me. So I can actually have clarity and make choices based on who I am and what I want in my life instead of all of the craziness that we perceive in the world as a highly sensitive person. That's one of the tools I use. The other one is journaling, and I haven't written anything. I was just blah, blah, blah. And then finally last night, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for that. Yes, I'm angry. I honored the emotion of I was angry. And now I get to be me. And when something else comes in, oh, that's where this was going. I love it. One day, so after going through that I woke up and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. And then I don't know if it was a voice or it's like, no, you're supposed to be this. And it showed me the sad. And I'm like, I don't want to be that. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not who I'm here to be. I want to come and have joy, and I want to contribute to my piece of the world, bringing happiness. And how do you do that? How do you do that? I want to show you something. Pretend I just walked into the room, and I'm going to go on the side. I told them I wouldn't, but if I walk in here with everybody's pain and everybody's issues, who wants to stay and talk to me right now? Somebody's got some tension on their shoulder, someone's got a back thing, someone's got a knee thing, someone's got an ankle thing, okay? If I walk in here like that, you guys are done. You don't want to talk to me, right? So we walk around our lives, are we impacted by the world? When, as the empath, like that one friend they walk into the room, and all of a sudden, how do you feel? You feel like you're at peace. That quick and that easy. So if I walk back into the room as me, connected to spirit, here in my thread, what changed? Everything. Kelly got chills. Yeah. Yeah. And really the power of the empath is being able to walk through a room and changing things that quickly and that easily by what you bring to the party. But if you are affected by the crazy world, if you are not clear in your own zone, if you're not clear, you're not able to do that. You walk through a messy. And I've been pretty messy. Ask Val, she works with me. I have been, but I'm going in and doing the work. I'm going in and doing the work so I can step and stand in front of you today and say, hi, this is me. I'm highly sensitive. I know too much. I know too much about you. I know too much about people. My family doesn't invite me to parties because they're more attached to their limitations than they are to me. And I'm okay with that. It used to hurt my feelings, but I understand now. So, some of the things that help manage being highly sensitive in a high impact world, there's a word. Because we receive input all the time. All the time. I stay up late at night because 11 o'clock the world goes to sleep and I can think. And I used to make it wrong. You're not a morning person. No, I'm not. I'm a night owl, and this is why. And it's okay. I give myself permission to be as I am. This is how I am. I'm a night owl. The world's quiet. I can think. It's okay. I used to make myself wrong for not being able to get up at 6 a.m. You crazy people. Make coffee. I'll be there at 10. So understand who you are, what you like, what you require, what feeds you. What feeds you besides food? What feeds you? Sunlight, music, nature. Those are the things that feed me. Those are the things that if I don't have that in my life, like my favorite thing to do is stand at a rock concert and feel the vibration because it does something for me. That feeds me. The other thing too is as an empathic, highly sensitive person, if you don't practice self-care, you're going to be a mess. You're going to be a mess. You're going to be medicated. You're going to be at the effect of the world. That's getting enough sleep or getting sleep. Sleeping, taking care of your body, getting enough sleep. Don't let yourself get hangry. Because if you're hangry and you're tired, that's an angry, hungry person, right? And you're tired, that's a meltdown waiting to happen. It's just one little thing. And just because you know that somebody's upset or that somebody isn't happy or they're broken, it's not your job to save them or to rescue them. It's not your job to fix it. You want to, but it's not your, there was a little girl and she had a rash on her arm. She had a rash on her arm. I'm like, can I fix that for you? And she says, no. I'm like, what? Why wouldn't you want your rash to go away? She was the youngest of 6 kids. That rash meant her mama spent extra time every night putting lotion on her arm. If I took the rash away, I took away her mama for that special, that alone time. That was how she got the attention she needed. We're not here to save the world. Well, we might be. But you can't save the world if you don't save yourself first. Everyone says, you can't pour from an empty cup. And we do it all the time. I've done it. How many people have done that? Have given so much, they have nothing left even for themselves, right? Overgivers Anonymous, that's a club. It is, and you give everything. You give everything, you have nothing left for you. It's just like I've studied access consciousness. I would say, check it out. If it's for you, great. If it's not for you, great. Anything I say too, don't believe me. Do your research. Look at it. What's right for you? Like Tina said this morning in the opening, I don't have the answers. I don't have all the answers. The answers are within you. You have the power to do that. And hopefully something that's shared today helps you learn that. So what happens when you're depleted from giving to everybody and to giving to the demands of your family and giving to everybody and you have nothing left for you? There's one thing Access teaches and about finances, and it is you put 10% in a having account. So, and you do the same thing with your time and your energy. You put 10% in a having account. You pay yourself. Because if you pay your bills first before you pay yourself, you're telling your bills they're more important than you are. If you take care of everybody else and leave yourself on, if you don't take out a few minutes for yourself, if you don't do something for yourself, and it may be a really weird foreign thing, even if it's a little thing, little simple things, like I did a facial for myself and I felt so much better. But if you don't do that, it's hard to receive from everybody else as well. If you can't receive from yourself, it makes it difficult to receive from others as well. Let's see, what else do you guys need to know today? There's something else. Does anybody have any questions?
How do you protect yourself from having all those energies coming through? Like I'm very, very very empathic to friends
Mm-hmm.
or to loved ones more than I probably am to the world, like some of you may be. But what is it that you can do to not take it in so deeply? Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm glad you asked that. How many walls do you have up to the world, Kelly?
I don't know.
So let me show you another thing. You're here in this room, and so you can kind of see. I'm going to put all my barriers up.
Okay.
I'm going to put all my barriers up. You can't get in. You don't want to be in a chair anymore, do you? You don't want to be friends with me. You love me. You love me, and you're like, yeah. And so I've got all my walls up. You don't want to. You've never seen me this way, right? I've got all my walls up. Who am I keeping out? Who am I keeping in? I've got all my walls up. Judge me. Judge me. Judge me. No, just really, yeah, anything. Just judge me. Do it. Judge me. It's really easy, right? I know. Judge me. Judge me now. Judge me now. Do you feel the difference? I drop my barriers. I drop my barriers. When I drop my barriers, the stuff that comes at you goes away. And how much allowance do you have for everybody else's crap? Yeah. Val sees me do this with crazy people at work. I do this with crazy people at work. They're like, ah! I drop my barriers. I pull energy through and they're like, I'm sorry. It's true. Yeah. I drop my barriers. I drop my barriers. And you know, the thing of it is, I drop my barriers and now we can actually have a connection. Do you feel that? We have a connection. And when I walk away from you with my barriers dropped, nothing of yours is going to stick to me because there's all this space in here. The walls are not keeping other people out. They're not. I know that goes back to having this. Those walls are not keeping everybody else out. They're keeping you in from receiving. They're keeping you in from experiencing your life. So if I have those walls up, I don't even like myself. But if I drop my barriers, and you can just ask him, it might seem weird if you might not feel it, and it might feel different for everyone else. You can just ask, hey, drop my barriers. Wait, I've got hidden barriers because I have a fail-safe because, I'm kind of tricky like that, so I'm going to drop those as well. And now, energetically, yell at me.
I don't want to.
You don't want to. Judge me. You can't. Yeah. And all of a sudden, we're better friends than we were, and we've been friends for a while, right? Yeah. Yeah, and so it's that connection. And if you have your walls up, you're keeping everybody else out, and yes, you're going to feel really, really alone. You're right. You're isolating yourself, and you will feel alone, and you will feel separate. Yeah, and I'm asking you to at least connect with yourself. Put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your belly. Hi, body. Hi, body. Oh, God, I don't listen to you very much, do I? Oh, I have feet? How many people live up in their heads? How many people spend so much time up in their heads they don't know they have a belly? Hi. And sometimes it's just this gentle, just this touch. Sometimes it's just this. It's just this gives us. If we're looking for a little bit of love, if we're looking for a little bit, if we don't feel like we're loved enough, well, honey, how are you loving yourself? Do you treat yourself like you're the most magical thing on the planet? Do you treat yourself that way? I treat my daughter like, oh my God, oh, you're so amazing. I love you so much. You're the most incredible thing. Even when she cries at 3 o'clock in the morning. Even when she's having a big, huge fit. You are magical. You are a miracle walking. No one can do what you do. No one has the words you have. Just like me, no one else can say what needs to be said. Nobody else can do that for me. Nobody else can do that but me. And if I'm not in touch with me, and if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't be here for you. Or I can be at my expense. At my expense. And everywhere and everyone you ever did that, everywhere and everyone you ever overgave, would you be willing to forgive yourself right now? I'm not making it wrong. You did it because you did it because you did it. The reasons at the time were valid. But would you be willing to forgive yourself? Would you be willing? Just for 10 seconds, because I don't think you can do it any longer than that, right? Just hate on yourself, because we're so mean to ourselves. We judge ourselves worse than anybody else does. Oh, you want to play a judgment game? Did we do this? Have I done this with you yet? You want to play a judgment game?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to judge. Okay. Not going to give it away, am I? Okay. How's everybody feeling now? Kind of uncomfortable? I just gained 20 pounds, didn't I? Didn't I? Right? Something changed. You don't know what it is, but I just gained 20 pounds, didn't I? How many people are just all of a sudden uncomfortable with their own body? Okay, well, yeah. You know what I did? You know what I did? I stood up here and I said, in my head, I'm fat, 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 I'm fat. I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat. That's my judgment of myself. How did everybody else feel? Really uncomfortable, right? Your guys are like, is this over? Yeah, go on, that lady's crazy. But that was my own judgment of myself. How many people all of a sudden judge their bodies even harder? From my judgment. That wasn't your judgment. What's your name, love? Becky. That wasn't your judgment. That was mine.
It became mine.
You took it on, right? Look how powerful you are.
It's your fault. You gave it to me.
Yeah, it's my fault that you're so sensitive that you decided to take my judgment on as your own. You're right. It's my fault.
Take it back.
Exactly. It's return to sender, right? Yeah. So it's having the awareness of. And that was one little 2-word thing of self-judgment. Not only did it change how you guys perceive me and want to interact with me, because you're not going to stop by and see me later if I'm going to stay there, right? Why would you? But I also want you to notice how you felt about yourself. And when you're out in the crazy world, say, wait, is this mine? It's like I woke up and I'm like, I'm so angry. I'm like, what? Why are you so angry? Oh, it's not mine. And I mean, it's just, but if you don't know to stop and ask, you don't know what, and sometimes, I'm so angry. Why are you angry? Because, oh, okay, be mad. Be mad and be done with it. And now what do you want? Be hurt and be as hurt as you possibly can and go into the middle of that hurt and expand it. And then what do you want? And then who do you want to be now? Every one of you is on this planet at this time for a reason. Every one of you is in here with me for a reason. My hope for you is you learned a couple things. My hope for you is that you continue to seek and that you recognize, where's that thread that's you? In all of the awareness of all the people, where are you? And be that one that walks through the room, and when you do, it changes everything. Thanks for playing today. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your time.